last week there was a survey for new Sims 4 expansion pack and how the community voted may surprise you. Now these results come from a Sims community poll, so keep this in mind that this might not be representative of the community as a whole. We do have a sample size of about 2,800. As another disclaimer, you can vote for only one pack at a time, but that doesn't stop people from refreshing the page and voting again. One little thing I don't love about this poll is they didn't actually name the expansion, so you have to go back up and look at the full description of each pack. In fact, the last place pack received only 230 votes out of 2,800. Now, I did actually create this chart a little before the final results, but it is more or less within a percentage point. It honestly didn't change very much. As you can see, Modern Monarchy won the top pack, which actually kind of surprised me, but I do have some theories about that. While second place was the 80s and 90s Mall, and actually that is my top pick by far. I just think it has tons of nostalgia and a lot of things that I personally would use. Moving on from that, we have On the Road and the Crime pack, followed by Ocean Exploration, the Sleepaway Camp, and Apocalypse, Cyberpunk, and Fossil Hunting. So the one thing I will say is Fossil Hunting by far was the loser here, and I'm guessing people felt we already had similar concepts in game and it didn't bring enough new to the table. First, we're gonna look at our top winner here, and you actually can see the full descriptions of each of these packs on this article. This is Modern Monarchy, and I wanted to look and see why people were voting for this. Experience the grandeur and drama of Modern Monarchy as you build your Sims legacy in a culturally rich world. From managing high-rise estates and navigating political intrigue to customizing luxurious fashion and living, this pack offers a unique blend of traditional and contemporary royal life. Forge alliances and shape destiny as you rise from commoner to beloved ruler or navigate the complexities of royal succession. Exclusive pets, go shopping for luxury items and favors for your close-knit circle of trusted and not-so-trusted friends. Live the life of luxury, influence, and power and create a legacy that will be remembered for generations. I think there is some nostalgia for Sims Medieval, and even though this is clearly in a very different time period, also it is notably different than most Sims 4 concepts we have so far. There's also a lot of drama and potential conflict that is being implied here, and I do agree that Sims 4 needs more of that. However, there's also adopt exclusive pets, which I think is really interesting, and I'm wondering what kind of pets there would be. I do know, despite the controversies with My First Pet stuff and cats and dogs and just animals pretty much scattered across packs, let's be honest, there are people still clamoring for more pets. And there are people that play decades challenges, legacy challenges, and I can see why people want this. Personally, this is close to the bottom pick for me, and that's just because I think it would be better in a spin-off game. And honestly, I would like a time period that is not either medieval or modern. Now, as far as what they could do, I mean, fashion-wise, I'm not really sure where they would go. I really hope they would be creative with what they design. I don't personally want a modern monarchy based upon British royalty, for example. I would like to see something different. I'm not saying they should actually base it upon specific modern monarchs. Sims 4 doesn't tend to do that. But what kind of pets could this actually bring? Exclusive pets? Well, I just looked at different pets from modern royals, and there are, of course, tons of dogs. That's very common. There's also birds, falcons, and other pet birds. There are horses, but obviously we already have horses in the game. And apparently Queen Elizabeth II had a chameleon growing up, so again we could get small pets like birds, chameleons, falcons, I guess. Or they could just not worry about that and they could just look to past games or come up with their own. So if we look at the third Sims game, we had a variety of different types of birds. We had a variety of different types of lizards, rodents, snakes, turtles, ant farms, fish, etc. So they could expand some things we already have and just bring in lots of small pets. Of course, it depends on where they decide to locate and situate this pack, and that could also, of course, influence what kind of pets we could get. Now, next up, I'm not going to spend tons of time on this because, like I said, this was my favorite concept by far, and I actually did go over the full description in a past video. It is bringing mall venues, freelance careers, arcade, comic book store, a game board cafe, and a ramen shop. In addition, you get tabletop role-playing games, landline phones, and rollerblading. You can be a babysitter, deliver newspapers, or be the lifeguard at a community community pool. And they even mention a water slide, drinking from the hose, and some objects and unique storylines and quote-unquote unforgettable drama. I am noticing also a pattern that the drama ones win the most often, and yes, it is kind of just a keyword at this. If you look at the 2020 survey, in that 2020 survey, the high school years actually said something about drama too. So at this point, yes, I definitely want more drama in my Sims game, but just take it with a grain of salt as well. And keep in mind, these full descriptions doesn't mean we're going to get everything in this description. In fact, there was a disclaimer on this survey that said we could pick and choose certain features for each pack. If you're of a certain age, I do have a theory you're more likely to vote for this. Personally, another appeal of this to me would be the potential of multifunctional lots. Of course, as a disclaimer, they could simply add the mall as a specific lot, kind of like they did with high school years, but I do think at least the foundation potentially is there. So I guess I lied when I said I wasn't going to spend much time on this. Let's be real. This is actually a concept from a past stuff pack vote, and this was a community-based vote. It didn't end up winning, but this is actually an arcade theme for a stuff pack. So I just want to give you an idea that they could even go back to these concepts and add it into this pack if they wanted to. We also get a look at some potential masculine fashion right here, definitely some interesting choices, and here is a look at some potential feminine fashion. Personally, even though I don't like the swatches I see here very much, I do think these pieces look versatile, and I think this would go well with the pack overall. And actually a couple years ago, I covered that Sims Free Play has a mall, and the mall in Free Play could give us some ideas too. This actually looks like a performance stage of some kind. There's a kids play area right here, and of course there's a place to eat. I would like to have a full food court and maybe do it a little bit differently than the ones they have in the past. It'd be cool if you could also get an active job or at least a rabbit hole career at that food court. Now moving on to the bronze medal, so to speak, is this on the road theme. Now this doesn't puzzle me whatsoever. People saw this and they thought probably getting cars. I do think there is appeal outside of that if you don't care about cars. It is a big question if this actually even means that, but I would guess that's why a lot of people did vote for this. It comes with a customizable travel van, exploring destinations and engaging in meaningful experiences with locals from different worlds. That is kind of interesting that it is from different worlds. I don't totally understand how this pack would operate in Sims 4, at least as it is now. Trade items, recipes, and stories from each location and return to a world where Sims dream to retire to update your van and dive deeper into the mechanic career. Partake in whimsical misadventures, family or solo, and enjoy expanded elder activities during their golden years. Some keywords here: generational storytelling. They know generational concepts are fairly popular, at least I think so, in the community. They have transportation. They said something about multiple worlds. Would they be mini worlds? I'm gonna guess they might be rabbit hole locations. Don't get mad at me. Customizable travel van. I don't know what this would actually mean. This is one of those concepts I have no idea if it would be executed well. Me personally, I just don't have a huge opinion on this pack. Yes, I definitely want more content for elders. I don't really honestly care about the rest. I can talk about that in an opinions video if you would like, but I also need to kind of see what the next expansion pack brings, if anything, for elders to determine if I would actually want this. That said, I always like to be able to visualize things, and so I do of course have credit to all these pictures in my video description, but I just want to give you an idea. I think it would be cool if it wasn't just a travel van you could live in, but also potentially do business with. And that could also lead to some great pack integration. For example, here we have a traveling pet hospital. I almost hate to bring up mods because people say that the Sims team steals from mods. Again, I'm going to leave that for an honest opinions video, but I do want to just give an idea on concepts of what kind of content they could add. I do want them to add their own unique spin on this. With this one, mod does talk about recreation and hobbies, going to a senior center, going to your retirement party, party, planning a party event, estate planning, etc. And honestly, my problem with this is I would rather have this in the expansion pack that's coming up. And that's why, again, I just don't know how to feel about this concept. And rounding it all up, the final concept in the fourth place position is the crime pack. Again, I think this is expressing a desire for more drama and danger or just more consequences in Sims 4. Of course, this is my biased opinion and analysis, but it says that you can become a criminal, a law enforcer, or somewhere in between. Small-time crime like pickpocketing for grilled cheese can quickly escalate into high-stakes crimes like stealing rare jewelry. A gritty city where your Sims rise to power as mafia bosses and con artists, uphold justice as crime-fighting heroes, or just play both sides. Again, tons of theories here. I think people want more cities. That would be one reason they would vote for it. Also, just the gritty adjective, I think that appeals to a lot of people. And there is that common theme of rising to power and just danger, etc. Once again, I question if this might be better as a standalone. Maybe that's just a mindset I have. Maybe I need to get over it. That said, I don't think it's all negative. I think, again, this is kind of interesting. I don't think any of these ideas sound terrible or boring, and we'll just have to see what happens. Let me know what you think about these results in the comments below. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.